96. 96. Go. Newer, fresher. 96. 96. 96. Yeah. Clap, clap.
Let's go.
Go. 96. 96.
That's just what I need.
Newer, fresher.
News from CNA.
Supermarkets are using up to 80% fewer plastic bags after mandatory charges started last July. These include big chains like FairPrice, Cold Storage and Shengxiong. Senior Minister of State for Sustainability and Environment Amy Khor says supermarkets played a big role in changing consumer behavior. The observation at the opening of FairPrice Group's green outlet at Farrer Park.
Supermarkets really are just more than just large retail spaces. They really can be very powerful, positive, change, right? Forces of change for us in terms of sustainability. So through your business operations, through the products that you offer, you can shape sustainable behavior. Not just for consumers, but for suppliers, right?
A recent National Environment Agency survey showed more than 9 in 10 shoppers used their own bags. That's up from 6 in 10 before the plastic bag charges. For those who used plastic bags, it was to hold wet produce or because they did not have enough reusable bags. A third of those surveyed said charges gave them the nudge to use fewer disposables or plastics. Others say the money collected from the bag charges will go to green and social causes.
News from CNA.
Let's go. Number one.
We're number one for new music.
Go. 96. Newer, fresher.
Blasting out the biggest hits all over the internet on the best online station.
This is
96 Radio. Newer, fresher. You're listening to John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio. John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio.
Hits. 96. Newer, fresher.
96 Radio. Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Tuesday. It is the third day of September, U.S. Bowling League Day. We haven't been in a bowling league in a while. Even when we were no good. The radio station back in the day sponsored the bowling team, so we went, to week, help out.
It was pretty bad.
It was not good at all. I was like, I bowled a 300. They're like, that was your series, John. It's supposed to be just one game. I'm like, oh, okay. National Welsh Rarebit Day today, International Skate Park Day, and Telephone Tuesday. Also, a National Another Look Unlimited Day. I don't know what that means. All of that stuff happening. And I mentioned it's Tuesday, but it bears repeating. It's Tuesday, which means Tuesdays with Charlie.
Yay.
Heidi's dad comes and joins us in the studio here. We got a spot for him right there. He'll be in here in just a bit. We'll chat with him, have some fun. Excited for that. It's always a blast. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Hits.
Let's remix it.
96. 96. Newer, fresher.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Scientists say that chimpanzees communicate with human-like gestures in regional dialects. A new study published in the Journal of Current Biology shows how chimps send rapid-fire gestures back and forth to one another in the same cadence as people do. Researchers found that the timing of the chimp's gestures and human conversations taking turns is similar and very fast, which suggests similar evolutionary mechanisms are driving these social communicative interactions. That's what they say. Researchers analyzed over 8,500 gestures made by apes in East Africa. So
I just think monkeys are fascinating.
I know.
I love them.
Anytime we go to a zoo where there's monkeys, that's where Heidi wants to
That's where I want to stay the whole time. I'm like, you guys can just come back and get me.
Yeah, she's like, you guys need me, I'll be right here. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
96. Newer, fresher.
96 Radio. Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know that weight loss drugs are taking a big bite out of the food business? Yeah, these big things that were developed to treat diabetes. Well,
Right.
when people do those, if it's working for them, because it does work for some, it doesn't for others,
Right.
but those who do spend less on groceries, and then they make healthier choices when they're actually buying things. Analytics firm Grocery.pio, I think I said that right, or Dipio, I don't know how you say it, found that semi-glutide takers purchased 47% fewer baked goods, 28% less soda and sugary beverages, and 17% less alcohol. 13% less processed foods as well. On the other hand, they are buying more healthy food thanks to reduced appetites and a change to their taste buds. So we don't know everything, but now we know this.
Hands up, everybody, let's go.
I'm Doja Cat.
This is Kid.Laroi.
I'm Jl.Kapten.
This is Post Malone.
Hi, I'm Camila Cabello. It's time to get back to the music. Turn it up.
96. Newer, fresher hits. 96.
Hey, it's John and Heidi from the John and Heidi Show.
With my father-in-law for Tuesdays with Charlie.
And the Lord said unto John, come forth and you will receive eternal life. But John came in fifth and won a toaster.
He talked with Heidi's dad each Tuesday.
It's all happening on the Tuesday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Newer, fresher.
Siapa sih ini yang ngerokok?
Ngerokok atau enggak emang pilihan hidup setiap orang. Tapi tahu kan, ngerokok nggak cuma bahaya buat kesehatan, tapi buat kantong juga. Coba deh hitung, berapa banyak uang yang kamu keluarin buat beli rokok? Mendingan uangnya dipakai buat liburan.
This public service announcement brought to you by 96 Radio. Newer, fresher.
96.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. ABC is going to have to dig deep to find a host for the Oscars. Jimmy Kimmel said no. John Mulaney said no. He hosted the last 2 years. Jimmy Kimmel did. Trying to see when Mulaney did it. Reported that Mulaney was waiting for Kimmel to officially pass before making his decision. Then he made his decision, which also turned into a no. They have some time. March 2nd is when they have the Oscars.
I think there's a lot of people saying, I don't know that I want to be.
I would do it. You guys call me. I'll come on to it. I would do it wearing a T-shirt, shorts, and Crocs, just to be different. And Josh Hartnett says that stalking incidents drove him to leave Hollywood. After surging to fame with the movies that he was in, Pearl Harbor, The Virgin Suicides, 25 years ago is when that was. Anyway, he kind of split, got out of there. He's like, yeah, that's not for me. So there's more to the story if you want to read it. I don't have time to get to all of it. It's in the show notes, though, for today at johnandheidishow.com.
96. Newer, fresher.
Something hot is coming in this October 2024. You want to get rocked? Yeah, it's time to have a good time. Rock your body. Firehouse. Live in Indonesia. Friday, October 18, 2024. Live from the Casablanca Hall, Jakarta. Let's have a good time with Firehouse and bring back all your love memory. Firehouse. Live in Indonesia. Friday, October 18, 2024. Live from the Casablanca Hall, Jakarta. Get your tickets now. More info. Click firehousejkt.com. Brought to you by Color is Your Life.
Newer, fresher. 96.
Di tiket.com, rencanain liburan bisa seasik ini. Tapi saat liburan nggak sesuai rencana,
besok masuk kantor ya.
no stress, semua beres. Ada tiket 100% refund. Kamu jadi bisa refund bahkan sampai -1 penerbangan. Kepastian 100% uang kembali dan pastinya untuk semua alasan. Pesan tiketmu dengan tiket 100% refund hanya di aplikasi tiket.com.
96.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio. Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. A report found that running burns more fat than lifting weights does. So if you want to lose weight, they're saying you'd be better to run that off than to lift weights to burn that off.
But it's also much worse on your knees. So,
How about walking fast?
Yeah, walking is very good
How
for
about
you.
walking fast while carrying weights? Why don't you have these answers when I ask, Heidi? Come on. All right, moving on. Have you ever been told dark sense of humor?
Never.
Yeah, she
Not
has.
once.
She has by me, as a matter of fact. Or have you ever maybe been told that maybe you don't even have to be told, you just knew that? I'm sure that those who possess a dark sense of humor are funny in their own way as anyone, but there is a dark side. A new study published by Behavioral Sciences determined those with a dark sense of humor are more likely to engage in online trolling. And what's more, they don't appreciate it when their antagonism turns back on them. In other words, trolls don't like to be trolled. Heidi, do you troll people?
I don't.
I don't think you do.
I
that.
do not. Nope.
Because, like, I remember there was somebody that you and this person had like a little disagreement on Facebook, and then you just unfriended them.
I just
and then they called me and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? Why did Heidi unfriend me?" I'm like, "Did you guys? What was going on?" "Well, I was harassing her about this." I'm like, "Well, that's why she unfriended me."
Yeah.
Like, she just doesn't want to argue with friends on social
don't want to argue at all.
I know it doesn't make sense to do that.
Life's
anyway,
too short.
Back to this story. Online trolling is a social behavior characterized by deception and disruption. A troll tries to incite controversy simply to watch people turn against each other. And now the doozy. The researchers' findings also indicate that people who possess a dark sense of humor are more likely to demonstrate sadism and Machiavellianism, being like cunning, scheming, or unscrupulous. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. These are too many big words for me. I'm taking the rest of the day. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. But this has been your scoop of the day. Comes your way courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
96. Newer, fresher. Hits.
Ariana Grande.
Newer, fresher. 96.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio. And it's time now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday, just because we can. We reach out to my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
And he's back. He said he'd never come here again, but here he is.
I lie a lot.
Wearing his wife's reading glasses.
No, these are mine.
Oh, are those yours?
They're officially mine.
No, okay. Well, they look good on you. I think you're right. Everything does look good on you. So what do you have for us today, Charlie?
Well, let's see. This ain't about the radio business, but you watch a lot of videos and movies and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
In 2000, Blockbuster Videos, are they still around, Blockbuster?
There's one left. There's one location now in Oregon.
I can understand because they turned down a chance to purchase a 1-year-old company called Netflix for $50 million.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now Netflix makes more than that in a month.
Yeah.
I bet that guy got fired.
Well, yeah. They no longer have a CEO at Blockbuster because they're gone. That part is gone.
Well, what's the ones with where you can go to a little red...
A red box.
A red box.
What company was that?
Red box.
Put your money in and punch a button and get a movie, and then
that's the company is called Red Box.
They
you go to the Red Box and get a movie. What's that one called? I know what you want to say right now. I got my finger on the bleep button.
I was waiting for that. But fooled you.
I'm sorry.
Idiot. Hey, then back in the day, you know who Pretty Boy Floyd was?
Yeah.
He was a bank robber.
Okay.
In the 20s. He would destroy mortgage documents during robberies, which freed many citizens of their debt.
You gotta love that. Not all heroes wear capes.
I wonder if he's got any distant relation I could get a hold of him. Wipe out my mortgage.
There you go. How cool would that be?
Oh, I'd love the guy.
Yeah.
Might even invite him over for a drink.
He's like Robin Hood, kind of.
I'll let that slide. Hey, then, do you know who Aerosmith is? Don't you?
Yeah.
Did you know that they put up the money to bail out every arrested fan in a concert bust?
Really?
So at one of their concerts, they busted a lot of people, probably for drugs, booze, sex.
Oh.
Yeah.
Running around naked.
Okay.
And they bailed every one of them out.
That's cool.
That was very nice.
Aerosmith. Oh, that's that. Who's the lead guy in that?
Steven Tyler.
Yeah, crazy. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He looks like everybody's crazy aunt that you would go to and she would buy you booze but tell you not to tell your parents about it.
And the funny thing is, one of their biggest hits is Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Who's that in the background? Who's that masked lady?
Tuesdays with Sandy. It's Charlie's much better half.
Much better, yes. Okay.
Those glasses look way better on her, by the way, Charlie.
I should have her doing this. In Germany, there are elevators with no doors.
Oh, wow.
That never stop.
Oh, I would hate that.
That would be really weird.
That would be terrifying.
The riders must be ready to hop out at the right time or risk being guillotined by the lift.
Jeez. Yeah.
Now, how can they even do that?
Yeah, they just do it.
Would terrify
They
me.
probably put a warning sign somewhere and said, there we go, we're good.
Does the EPA get after him or something?
The EPA?
Well, one of them PA things.
One of them PA.
Okay, you got a question for me?
Oh, we're ready for that? Yeah, so I got a trick question because there's two answers.
28 and 69.
Nope. I was going to just say ahead of time, neither one of them are the ones you guys usually guess. But how many teeth does a horse have? And the reason there's two different answers, male have a certain number and female have a different number.
Good Lord.
No. If you get either one of them right, I'm going to give you credit. So how many teeth does a horse have? You get either one of these, I'm going to say you're right.
Well, they used to have 28, but I think down to 27.
No. It's what, 20, an odd number of teeth? Okay. What do you think, Heidi?
I'm going to say 15.
Wow. Have you ever seen a horse's mouth? Either one of you ever seen a horse?
I've seen the other end of him.
Yeah, well, on the eaten end, there's 40 teeth for male horses, 20 on the top and 20 on the bottom probably, and female horses have 36. So
I think he made that up.
No.
You can't have
straight from the horse's mouth.
Can't have
And
40
with that,
teeth.
Well, Charlie, thanks for stopping in, man.
Now I know I'm not coming back.
He says that every week.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
96.
Duh, udah telat banget nih gue. Ini lagi di depan. Lama banget sih jalannya. Lewat trotoar aja ah.
Aduh, sejak kapan sih trotoar bisa dipakai sama pengendara motor? Kalau kayak gini kan jadi gue yang sakit.
Aduh maaf banget Mbak. Mbak nggak apa-apa kan Mbak?
Gak apa-apa gimana? Ini tuh trotoar, bukan jalan raya.
Penggunaan trotoar selain untuk kepentingan pejalan kaki adalah pelanggaran dan bentuk perampasan hak pejalan kaki.
This public service announcement brought to you by 96 Radio, newer, fresher.
96.
The only station playing all the biggest hits.
All the hits.
What's up, guys? It's Shawn Mendes.
Hey, this is Tiesto.
I'm Ed Sheeran.
Hey, what's up? It's me, Jason Derulo, and this is the station with all the hits.
96.
Asia Pop 40.
What's going on, Asia? This is Joey Zhao, and this week on the show, we'll be counting down all the tunes you've been streaming the most this week on your devices. It'll be all the songs you know and love, as well as the latest and the greatest tracks from all over the world. This is Asia's own charts, and you won't want to miss it. All that and more on Asia Pop 40, every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. right here on 96 Radio. 96 Radio.
96. Newer, fresher.
The Motivation Minute, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Today's quote was submitted by Clarence. Billy Joel said, "When you're competent and you live in an age where there's a lot of incompetence, it makes you appear extraordinary." This quote is from 1998. Billy Joel was explaining why he believed he was one of the biggest musical stars in the world at the time. He was saying, "I'm not great. Everyone else is just worse." I love that. It reminds me of Norm Macdonald on Saturday Night Live. He had been fired from the show, and a short while later, he was invited to be the host. It was hilarious. He said, "How did I go from being not funny enough to be in the building to being so funny that I should host the show?" Then he said, "I didn't get any funnier. The show is just that bad now." Hilarious. Today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
You're listening to John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio. John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio.
Sekarang kamu bisa dengerin 96 Radio via Noise.
Newer, fresher. 96. Newer, fresher. Hits. 96.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Carpenter, and this is
6. Newer, fresher.
96 Radio. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sea lions can dance to a beat. How cool is that?
Really?
Why I needed to know that, but I'm glad that I know it.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Some drug-sniffing dogs are now being trained to ignore marijuana. So, like, if it's
Really?
just, if it's, wink, wink, if it's just marijuana, don't tell us.
Huh.
All right. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average human would have to consume 300 match the equivalent of what a hummingbird eats every day to survive.
Really?
So just based on our size and their size, they have to eat like 300 hamburger size.
Wow.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A duck cannot walk without bobbing its head.
Oh.
Yeah, I told you that the other day when
You
I
did.
first saw that. I was like, that's kind of cool. Because then I was trying to imagine a bobbing its head. It's kind of funny, isn't it? And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The left drumstick of a chicken is more tender than the right drumstick of a chicken.
Really?
I don't know why. It's just a fun fact. Several of them. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
96.
Hai kawan muda, sekarang kamu bisa dengerin 96 Radio via Noise.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 15% of people who own one of these don't even use it. What is it? We own one, and we use it.
A hot tub?
No, a dishwasher.
Oh, yeah, we use ours.
15% of people own a dishwasher, don't use one. And I know we had a friend who lived in a house for like 3 or 4 years, and he said, I've never used it.
Yeah.
So he didn't even know if it worked. He's like, I don't know, I've never used it before. I'm like, what? Never? So
Yeah.
there you go.
I like
Mint
my
Mobile
dishwasher.
question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Newer, fresher, 96.
3 words to describe Emily in Paris season 4. If I could describe season 4 in 3 words right now.
Let me think about that.
Vulnerable. Messy.
Je vais dire chaotic. Je vais dire amour. Heartbreaking.
This season sums up to one word. Revenge.
Holy
Adventurous.
fashionable.
Not finished yet. But
Bellezza, which means beauty, but in Italian.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see what he did there.
wait. I actually have a few more words. Season 4 comes out this August 15th for part 1. Part 2 drops on September 12th. You're welcome.
Hai kawan muda, sekarang kamu bisa dengerin 96 Radio via Noise.
96. Newer, fresher. Newer, fresher.
Hi, I'm Ed Sheeran.
Hi, I'm Harry Styles.
Fresher.
Let's go!
96. 96.
Usher.
I love the DJs, love the music.
Hits. Newer, fresher. 96. Go. Newer, fresher. 96.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show tonight on 96 Radio. Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. There's a bizarre beverage trending on TikTok. It's called Fluffy Coke. The sound of drinking something with the word fluffy doesn't really sound that great, but I can assure you it tastes better than it sounds, according to this, even if it's being called by some people diabetes in a cup.
Yikes.
Fluffy Coke combines the creaminess of marshmallows with the crispiness of an ice cold. TikToker Emma Grace claims that she and her grandmother came up with Fluffy Coke, and this is how it was made. Using a spatula, slather marshmallow fluff onto the interior of your glass, then add ice cubes, then pour in a regular can of Coca-Cola. She gives it 10 out of 10 for taste in her video, which has been viewed more than 3.7 million times.
Yeah, that is definitely diabetes in a cup.
Other TikTokers have tried it themselves. Now there's hundreds of videos on the site with the hashtag Fluffy Coke. Some adventurous users have switched up, though, to Diet Coke or Pepsi or root beer or Dr. Pepper, or even some using flavored sparkling water. Oh, and one user used coffee. What a lame-o. Just kidding. I don't know. I just think the whole thing sounds kind of weird. That's why it's today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Go. Newer, fresher, 96.
Hai kawan muda, sekarang kamu bisa dengerin 96 Radio via Noise.
Newer, fresher, Dua Lipa. Think about it.
The Motivation Minute, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Today's quote was submitted by Fritz. Seneca said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." I love that. So many of my favorite people have been through so much. They've been tested by fire, and they've come out stronger. My wife and I have been through many trials in our time together. Fortunately enough for us, these situations that would have torn many couples apart have somehow brought us even closer together. The only way that's possible is with the help of God. Be honest to one another and ask God for guidance. There were times that we were finished. We could take no more. Then from out of nowhere, we would have some unexpected help. Thank you, God. Today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
You're listening to John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio. John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio.
96. Newer, fresher.
Hey, I'm Alan Walker.
Hello, my name is Putri Ariani.
96. Newer, fresher.
The station with all the hits. Check it out.
Ariana Grande.
24K Golden.
Dua Lipa.
Justin Bieber.
Billie Eilish.
This is my station.
96. Newer, fresher. 96. 96. 96.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show tonight on 96 Radio. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. We started this yesterday. Behaviors from back in the day that would be very strange today, like this one. Arriving at the airport shortly before takeoff and checking your luggage with no hassle.
Yes,
nowadays that is
you
a
can't
whole
anymore.
process. Another thing from back in the day that's weird, paper maps. People are like, how do you know where you are? Well, you have to just know where you are. But there's not a dot showing where you are? No. How utterly unsupervised we all were as kids. Yeah,
Yes.
we absolutely were. My parents would leave 4 kids in the car when they would stop and get groceries. Yeah, you can't do that these days. The yellow pages, or the phone book in general. The sounds young people will never know of, like listening to your modem connect to the internet.
Yes.
And then the last thing, the milkman. They said milk and eggs and cheese and other dairy-adjacent items were delivered to your house weekly, and the milk and the orange juice were in glass returnable bottles. So, interesting stuff. That is the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Newer, fresher, 96.
Hits. Olivia Rodrigo.
Newer, fresher, 96. 96. Newer, fresher.
Pilihin dong foto aku. Yang bagus yang mana nih?
Ade, nyetir aja dulu, jangan selfie-selfie.
Yang ini cantik nggak? Jelek ya? Ulang ulang.
Awas di depan, Aduh.
Jangan menggunakan smartphone ketika mengemudi. Waspada di jalan, tertib, dan toleransi.
This public service announcement brought to you by 96 Radio. Newer, fresher.
Newer, fresher hits. 96.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show tonight on 96 Radio. Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from Bernard Meltzer, who says, "A true friend is someone that thinks you are a good egg even though he knows you're slightly cracked." Oh, yeah.
Aww.
You know what? That is pretty true. Heidi's a good egg. She's pretty scrambled sometimes too, though, let me tell you. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com.
Newer, fresher hits. 96.
The Motivation Minute, brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Today's quote was submitted by Christine. Steve Jobs said, "The thing about smart people is they sound crazy to dumb people." What a great quote. I think I need to carry this on a card So when I say things that sound crazy, I can just hand people around me a card to proclaim that I only sound crazy because you're just not smart enough. Okay, that's probably not a good idea. But I will concur. There have been many times that I've heard somebody speaking about something way over my head and they sounded crazy. Well, the whole time, I was just not smart enough to know what they were talking about. So maybe next time you encounter this situation, you'll think of this quote from Steve Jobs. Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
You're listening to John and Heidi Show on 96 Radio.
John and Heidi Show
on 96
Newer,
Radio.
fresher. 96. 96.
Meghan Trainor and T-Pain.
Hits. Newer, fresher. 96. Newer, fresher. Hits. 96.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show tonight on 96 Radio. We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is just an amazing story. It comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's the story. Missing woman with dementia found safe thanks to her loyal dog.
Aww.
A recent search and rescue operation in Emery County, Utah ended up very happy thanks to the determination of authorities and a helpful neighbor and some dogs. I think this is pretty cool. Last month, Emery County Sheriff's Office got a distress call, a report of a woman with dementia after taking the family dog for a walk on the mountainside and she didn't return. And now it was like a whole day later. Responding swiftly, an officer from the Utah Division of Wildlife and Resources and his canine partner, Kip, joined the search alongside neighbors and search rescue teams, including local resident Ralph Mitchell. Arriving at the search area shortly after dark, the officer faced challenging conditions. Daytime temperatures had soared to nearly 100 degrees, while the nighttime temperatures dropped down to about 55. Yikes. Despite these difficulties and the presence of many search personnel, Canine Kip, a trained and certified human tracker, began his work. At about 3:30 a.m., Kip and the officer heard a dog barking near some cabins. Believing it might be the missing woman's dog, they moved toward the sound but found no trace of her. The following day, Ralph Mitchell provided a crucial lead. He said he had heard a barking dog the previous day coming from an area with no homes. Reviewing local security footage, they spotted the woman walking east with the dog. The officer and Kip and Mitchell then split up to find the area in that direction, and they did. They were able to find her. Mitchell offered her his water and then went to find cell service to notify the sheriff and everybody else. At the end of the day, her dog saved her life by barking to alert people that's where they were.
Wow.
We're so glad she was found safe, they say. I think that is amazing. And one more time, I just want to say,
horrible.
I love my dogs, but saving me,
they would
saving my
save
life,
us. They absolutely would.
I'm pretty sure they'd lock me out of the house if they could reach the lock. Just saying. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
96. 96.
Yeah, clap, clap.
Let's go.
Go. 96. 96.
Just what I need.
Newer, fresher.